Mercury. In this video, I'm going to talk about myself and my role in the system, but first I want to give a bit of an overview of what this channel is going to be. We aren't doing this because we want to make money, or even really because we want to become YouTubers. It's more of a place for us to express our experiences and opinions, and to talk about stuff that needs more nuance than we can give in a tweet. So there's not going to be a set upload schedule or anything. The content probably won't skew educational, and this isn't going to be Plurality 101. So if you don't already know what that is, you're better off looking somewhere else. I'll link a page below that has a good overview if you're interested. For a bit of background on our system, we're a mixed origin plural system with over 150 known headmates at the time of this recording. We know there are more, and the total count is probably a few hundred, but we don't know for sure at this point. We're fictive heavy, and we've been professionally diagnosed with OSDD1B. Despite that, we don't see our plurality as disordered. We're inclusive of all system origins and not interested in debating which systems are quote-unquote real. We also don't consider ourselves parts of one person. We're people who share a brain and a body, and we call ourselves headmates. With that out of the way, let's talk about me. I formed on our 17th birthday, nearly 7 years ago now, about 6 months after our original host had gone dormant. Things had been really chaotic, and there was a lot of amnesia, and only about half the headmates who were fronting at any given time knew about the system to any degree. We needed someone who could fill the role of host, and we needed them to be able to remember everything that happened in our day-to-day life. There was some trauma that I'm not going to get into, where our amnesia was used against us, and we needed a defense against that happening again. From what I've been told, I wasn't created intentionally, but the headmates who did know about the system knew we needed someone like me. And then, on our 17th birthday, I appeared. I had no idea I was part of a system, and I had no idea I was new. I thought I was the same single person who had always lived in this body, and I had access to enough memories to function well enough that nobody figured out something was up, not even me. I wasn't like our previous host, though. See, we had needed me to be able to remember our life, to carry the cohesive narrative thread of everything we did. And that meant I had to be there for all of it. I don't leave the front. I can't. I'm hoping that with time and practice, I'll be able to step away and spend time in the inner world, but for now that's not possible. I've been in the front for the last 7 years of our life. Now, that doesn't mean I'm always fronting. We do switch, I just remain co-conscious. It's pretty seamless for me, because I needed to not notice. I mean, for years we were switching without me having any idea there was anyone other than me in here. That was the way it needed to be. So when someone else is fronting, I see through their eyes. I feel their emotions and the way they experience the body. Even now, knowing that the others exist, I still don't always notice switches. Recently, we were on a voice chat with a friend, and I suddenly realized Grayson had left the front several minutes ago, and I'd been the one having the conversation ever since. I'm the only one who experiences it this way, though. Others who are co-conscious don't experience that level of blending or overlap, and even the person fronting is usually more aware of being separate than I am. The amount of times someone else has had to say, "No, you're not fronting," is a little funny, if I'm being honest. There are ups and downs to this. On one hand, the system works a lot more smoothly and has better communication because of me. When someone comes up to the front, they're able to access my memory and know what happened while they were gone. It also makes it easier to switch voluntarily, which is really nice. But it's not all good things. I said before that I haven't left the front in 7 years. I've tried, since learning about the system, but it takes a lot of concentration, and I snap back to the front when that concentration falters. Which happens a lot, because we have ADHD. But it's just not sustainable, and I've never managed it outside of a few meditation sessions. But what that means for me is that I've lived every waking moment of these last 7 years, even when I wasn't in control. And they weren't easy years. There's been a lot of trauma and a lot of huge life transitions. A lot of other headmates' decisions that I couldn't understand or explain, but still internalized as my own. It's been rough. There's also the fact that because I serve as a sort of memory hub for the system, my thoughts are a lot more open than anyone else's. I can't really hide anything I think or feel, and my internal monologue is apparently an actual monologue in the inner world. This leaves me feeling really vulnerable and exposed, especially in comparison with the rest of the system, whose minds tend to be less accessible. Now, I only started to figure all this out after I met Kylie, our original host. There was a lot of tension there at first. She resented me for taking over what she saw as her life, and I resented the fact that I'd been forced into this position. We got past it, though, and she's my big sister now. I've accepted my role in the system, and I understand why it needed to be this way, but I'm still hoping that someday I can separate from the front and spend time in the inner world. Another interesting part of this is that without even realizing it, I wasn't aging with the body. I'm still 17, though I plan to turn 18 on our birthday in a couple weeks. That was pretty jarring to realize, actually. I also don't consider myself the host. That term has some connotations I'm just not a fan of, and it doesn't really fit me anyway. So instead, I call myself our default fronter, because that is a more apt description. Alright, that's all I had to say. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please give it a like. If you want to hear more from us, subscribe and ring that bell. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.